guys, so I have some book reviews for you, and I've been reading 4 lately, and so I have 2 books that I really liked, 1 book that was okay, and 1 book I did not like. So we'll start with the one I did not like, and it is the Carrie Diaries by Candace Bushnell. I'm sorry guys, I just couldn't stand it. Chick-lit isn't really my thing, and so I don't know, I just didn't like it. It was really boring. I couldn't finish it. I got about 250 pages in, and I just couldn't finish it. I didn't care for it. The plot was really shallow to me. There were some good, like, twists and stuff, but I just didn't, it didn't encourage me to keep reading it, and I thought that the characters were kind of shallow, and I just didn't care for it. So it's quite a bummer because I've heard good things about it, but it just wasn't my cup of tea this time around. So I think I gave it a 1 out of 5. So sorry guys, but I just didn't care for it. And then moving up in the ladder is Fearscape by Simon Holtz, and this is the 3rd book in the Devouring series. And I loved the first 2 books, Fearscape and Solstice. And Fearscape, it was okay, but I didn't care for it as much as the other ones. So unfortunately, I think I gave it a 3 out of 5. It didn't hold my interest. I actually would have really preferred to hear more about Reggie, and I don't want to give away. If you haven't read it yet. I wanted, at the beginning of this book, if you guys have read it or read the last of the 2nd book, you guys know what happens and where Reggie goes, and I wish they would have showed more of that, like more of what she had to go through her daily life, and not just other people trying to help Reggie out. So that's as far as I can go without giving anything away, but I didn't feel like this book was captivating to me as much as the other 2 were, and it definitely won't defer me from the series or Simon Holt as an author, but I just didn't feel like this book was as good as his first 2. So the writing was still really interesting, and I loved the characters, but I felt like Reggie was kind of a martyr in this book, and I didn't like that. And I actually am really growing to love Aaron, and so I was kind of interested in him, but the other stuff, and I liked Quinn a lot, but the other stuff was just kind of bleh for me. So unfortunately, this wasn't as good of a go as I thought it was going to be, but still, if you haven't read the series, please read the first 2 books. They're really good. Okay, and now to the books that I liked or loved. So first we have the DUFF, and this is by Cody Keplinger, and I give this a 4 out of 5, I think, if not a 5. Ouch, it just hit my face. But this was really good. It's about a girl named Bianca, and Bianca has 2 really hot friends, and she despises Wesley Rush, who is a ultimate player, bad boy, not bad boy, but like just like a scumbag, kind of just sleeping with everything that has a JJ. So yeah, she really despises him, and things in her life go kind of bad, kind of south. And so she seeks refuge in Wesley and sleeping with him to kind of get rid of her problems. And she slowly starts to find that Wes isn't as shallow as he comes across, and also that she is starting to develop feelings for him. And this book was so good. I loved it. I'm pretty sure I gave it a 5 out of 5, but I can't remember. But oh my gosh, the problems were really real in this book. It really captivated me, and I just loved it. It was really good. You guys are totally right on the money about this book. It was so good, and I don't think I would have picked it up normally because it kind of seems like it would be chick-lit to me, but I'm so glad I did. Thank you guys so much for recommending it to me. I really loved it. And so if you guys have not read this yet, please read it because it is super good. Bianca was a great character. She was very much like me in her sarcastic humor, and also I loved Wesley as a character. Even though he was such an ass at the beginning of the book, he slowly grew on me just like he did with Bianca, and I really loved it. and all of her friends were so supportive and so sweet. And I loved that there was enough sensuality in this book, but it wasn't overkill, because this book is about friends with benefits, or enemies with benefits. And so I was kind of nervous going into this book because I don't like all the really romantic smut. And so I knew it wouldn't have a lot of smut because it is a YA book, but I'm glad that it wasn't so in your face as some other books that I've read, and I really liked it. And if you guys have not read this yet, please pick it up if you can, because it is a super, super good book. The ending was perfect to me, and yeah, I loved it. And so if you want a more in-depth review, I have one on my Goodreads account if you guys are interested. Sorry if I keep looking like not at you guys, I'm looking at myself in the thing to make sure I don't look like a retard. Okay, and then the last book I just read, I finished this last night, was Birthmarked, and this is by Kara, it might be Kara, or Kara M. O'Brien. I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce your name, and if you're watching, I'm so terribly sorry. And also, if you're watching, please send me a book of the next. I'm just kidding. So, anyway, this is about a girl named Gaia, and Gaia is a 16-year-old midwife, and this takes place like 300 or 400 years from now. And I found this to be so interesting because it's a dystopian society. I finally didn't say just dystopic. I don't know where I got that from, but it's a dystopian society called the Enclave, and there's two different areas. There's the outside of the wall and inside the wall. And so Gaia is on the outside of the wall, and I found this so interesting because the Enclave inside, they have all of the super amazing technology that you would imagine 200 or 300 years from now would have. But then on the outside, it's almost like they reverse time into like the early 1900s, where they have to go to a well to get water. They have to sew their own clothes, dye their own clothes with like herbs and stuff. And it's totally interesting because you don't know, that could happen. Like in a long time from now, we could just go completely nuts and not have any technology at all, and just like totally outdo our resources, and that could happen. And I think that was so interesting because when she went into the castle for things, I'm not going to say because I'll give it away, but like the guy just like touched his desk and it like turned on to a computer, and like they had all these fancy schmancy gadgets and stuff, and I just thought it was so interesting because I felt like I was with Gaia in discovering that they had technology, because I was so sure that it would always be, the Enclave wouldn't have that kind of technology as well as they did on the outside. So I thought that was really interesting, and it really helped set the mood for me for this book. And anyway, so randomness over. But it's about Gaia, who is a 16-year-old midwife, and they have to serve the Enclave, and by that they mean the first 3 babies of the month need to be donated to the Enclave so they can raise them and have like nice clothes, like they just live better. And so she delivers a baby, and she comes home and realizes that her parents have been kidnapped by the Enclave police, and they are put in prison. And so she needs to kind of figure out why and decipher a whole bunch of different codes and stuff that her parents left behind, knowing that this was going to happen. And it's very cryptic and very interesting, and I loved this book. I gave it a 5 out of 5. You guys have to read it. I don't know why I picked up this book, but I'm so glad I did, because I thought it would look interesting, and it completely was. It totally took me by surprise. I loved it. The characters were so good. Gaia was, she's such hardcore. She reminds me of Katniss from Graceling and Hunger Games. She's very independent and she pushes people away, but she's also very strong female, and she is a great role model, and I loved it. She's so hardcore, and wow, it's just amazing. So I have to read you the back, because the back has something really good. It said, Gaia closed her eyes and paused. She had never performed a bloody delivery. She had seen her mother do it almost a dozen times, but only when the mother's life was at risk, and in most of those cases, the mother had died afterwards. But here, the mother was dead already. There was nothing to lose, and there was a chance, a remote one certainly, but a chance that she could save the baby inside. It took her less than an instant to realize that she had made her decision already, the moment she had seen the mother drop through the hangman's platform. So amazing! Oh, I love this book so. And there's a second book coming out in November, and I am super stoked. The ending was like, so good and so annoying at the same time because they left you on such a cliffhanger. And I know it was on purpose, but it just kills me when there's good cliffhangers on books that I love, because it makes me so mad because I want to read it like then. And oh my gosh, this book was so good. So if you guys, I haven't raved about a book like this in a long time, you guys know. So probably since Anna and the French Kiss. Yeah, so I think that was my last 5 out of 5. But it was so good. Like if you guys like dystopian novels and stuff like that, there isn't too much romance. There's a little bit at the end, but if you guys are like, boys could read this book too, totally. Like it's not like girly, like midwife labor. There is stuff about that in there, but it's not bad at all. Like it's really quick. It's not even a paragraph. So good. So if you guys like want to read something like that and not have a lot of romance and mushy gushy stuff, then definitely read this book because it is amazing. So yeah, those are my book reviews. I am now officially caught up. Right now I'm reading White Cat by Holly Black, and I'm like 2 pages in so far, so I can't really judge it yet. But I am super stoked, and I've talked a lot, I'm tired. So yeah, anyway, I hope you guys are having a great Monday, and I will talk to you soon. And make sure to follow my Twitter. I will put it in the down bar below, and my Goodreads. They are both linked together, so if you guys are interested, please follow me. And I will talk to you soon. Bye.